Hello friends. I'm taking a very quick bird's eye view of James chapter 4 verses 1 through 10 in this video. James is led to the subject matter in this text by his preceding references to peace and peacemaking. Notice those in chapter 3 verses 17 and 18. His readers were far from peaceable. There must have been some conflict going on in the church or churches to whom James is writing, and so they needed heavenly wisdom, our previous text. So there must have been strife and discord in their ranks. Personal conflicts, well, that's what chapter 4 verse 1 says, right? No fewer than 3 causes of strife are mentioned in this text. Number 1, self-interest. You notice that he talks about conflicts that arise from inner passions and selfish, sinful pleasures, and he says that the culprit is self-interest. In this context, he notes that prayer only works when it's used for higher purposes, for God's purposes. Culprit number 2, friendship with the world. Where do our values lie? James asks us. Are they values that are in opposition to God's purposes? If so, hostility with others will surely be the result. What James says here is that we need a loyalty that puts God first and turns aside from all other lesser allegiances. We can't have friendship with the world and friendship with God at the same time without expecting strife and conflict in our relationships. And then cause number 3 of this strife and discord, pride. I want you to notice the calls to humility in verses 6 and 10. We might describe humility as total dependence upon God, rather than having confidence in our own abilities, our own skills, and ourselves. We depend entirely upon God. And what James shows us here is that pride is surely a snare that can destroy relationships. Now, there's so much more that he says in this text, and I know that you notice the staccato imperatives near the end of this particular passage. So much here that we could digest and talk about and apply. But I just want us to see the threaded discussion that James is using here. He's addressing the problem of strife and discord in the church and in relationships. And he says there are 3 general causes: self-interest, friendship with the world, and pride. And hey, how do we apply this particular text in this way? Well, do we have conflicts in our homes, in our churches, at our workplaces, in our neighborhoods, in other relationships that we have? What can we do about that strife and about that discord wherever it's found? Well, James says, I want you to consider the root causes and the solution. Be interested in other people, a spouse, a brother or sister in Christ, a friend, a co-worker. Don't be so self-interested. Show interest in others. Number 2, value what God values. In this context, he values unity and loyalty and allegiance to him and friendship with him. Share his values and implement what he values. Number 3, get rid of pride. Humble yourselves in the eyes of the Lord, and he will exalt you, is what James says. Here's a brief preview of chapter 4, verses 11 through 17. More on the misuse of the tongue. Okay, I'll see you in a few days. God bless you in your study of James.